Do you have any updates on your brain?
A brand new one.
Just for context, you had temporal lobe epilepsy, or I guess have it.
I have it.
It resulted in a lot of seizures that you had, and then once you started taking methylene blue, seizures went away.
Yeah, seizures went away. I saw this guy in Florida named Dr. John Lawrence and got me on this methylene blue protocol. And the day that I started that, there were no seizures. And the only 2 times I've had seizures since then is when I've forgotten to take methylene blue for 48 hours-ish.
Right before Joe Rogan podcast.
The day before Rogan, I had 2 seizures. And I was like, my brain was reeling still during the Rogan podcast. Like, it was hard to put stuff together. So it took me a year to find a clinic that had like a really good scanner. And I went to LA, and this was just 2 weeks ago, I think, give or take, and found out that I've got brain death. I've got a portion of my brain that's kind of not alive. And it was a weird feeling. And I think that I've stopped all of that with methylene blue and this protocol that I follow, which is public. You can throw it up on the screen right now for people to screenshot if you want to. And part of that protocol that's blacked out on the screenshot, or that's kind of blurred out on the screenshot right now, at the very bottom is a recurring monthly use of psilocybin. And that's in, I have to travel to a state where that's legal, obviously, to do that. But going on a monthly psilocybin dose has proven, and it's proven in a bazillion papers, that this stuff helps with neurogenesis and neuroplasticity. And those 2 things alone are the most high leverage things that I've ever done for my brain. It stopped everything. And then adding in nicotine on top of that. And nicotine is proven, again, by thousands of studies to be an extremely high functioning neuroprotective agent. So it protects neurons from damage, or suffering damage. And that, just those 3 things, I would say, out of that whole protocol, is definitely what saved my life. I was at a point of 9 seizures a day, and now I'm 0.
And each seizure was massive brain damage.
Yeah. I mean, you're losing a million to a few million neurons a second during a seizure.
Yeah.
And these were like a minute long, and at 9 a day, it was kind of unsustainable. You're losing more than you're making. So I was really desperate to stop it. And that was the process of it. And going into a temporal lobe seizure, if no one's ever heard of this, you don't have family, let me describe what this is like. So the beginning is, it happens in your temporal lobe, and this is where our hippocampus is, where all of our memory and all that kind of stuff consolidates. So the beginning of this is a slight creeping in, just a slight creeping in of deja vu. And within 10 seconds, it goes from this creeping to, there's so much deja vu going on in every single pixel that I can possibly see, that someone had to have set this up. Something is wrong with what's going on. Right after that, it's like this giant roller coaster fall feeling in your stomach, and then your whole body just kind of goes limp, like you slump over. And during that like minute, you have like 1 to 3 years of memories from a life that's not even yours, that are just flashing through that thing. And you're in that minute. So it's like 1 to 3 years of memories, and all those memories randomly get tossed into all of your real memory file cabinets. So after that seizure, it takes like 3 days to consolidate, like, that was not my life and this one was my life. So you're going through for days just trying to like sort through all those files, and it's hell.
So the memories you have in that moment are not actually your memories. It's not like they are your memories, but they feel like they're someone else's, but they actually aren't.
Totally someone else's life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. I've had some where I'm like first person POV as a woman in some of these things, which makes you wonder, like, we know nothing about consciousness. Nothing. Like literally nothing. And maybe there's something to this. Maybe Carl Jung was right. There's some kind of shared universal consciousness, and this is like this part of the brain getting damaged means that you get some access to it. And they call temporal lobe epilepsy the sacred disease. And if I had to pick a disease, it would be that name. That's kind of cool to have.
Methylene blue, psilocybin, nicotine.
Yeah.
Saved your brain. You told me something about your dog. And here's another thing. You said that your whole family takes methylene blue.
On occasion.
On occasion.
Not every day like I do.
Okay. Yeah. When do they take it?
So it's got some properties that help with all kinds of cells in your body. So every cell in your body can potentially benefit, but mostly your neurons benefit. You see my hand is blue from taking it this morning. But it attracts to neuronal tissue and helps your brain get rid of free radicals. It helps balance out all kinds of chemicals in your body, but it helps mostly with this chemical called cytochrome C oxidase, which helps us to generate more energy in our cells, so ATP. And
the listeners, they just hear some slobbering right now. That's the dog. Yeah.
And ATP is our energy, our body's energy, our cells' energy. But methylene blue has so many unbelievable benefits that just reading a list of the benefits of methylene blue is going to blow somebody's mind.
Methylene blue, what role did mushrooms play?
I think mushrooms played a tremendous role, and it's all of these little kind of blackout, brownout spots of my brain are rewiring because of mushrooms. And microdosing is something I do every couple of days, and I think microdosing is a fantastic way for anybody. I think it's just a beautiful thing for people with anxiety and all that. Again, this is obviously not medical advice, but I order it from this company online called Brain Supreme, and you just get this package of mushrooms and you microdose those, and they've got these different kinds, but I use one called Genius that has like nootropics mixed in there for your brain health and all of that. And it has been a determining factor. So I think methylene blue and that little protocol we talked about, and this recurring mushroom microdoses, and then a monthly or every other month larger mushroom dose has truly saved my life.
Like, how does that show up in your day-to-day? Like, what do you notice?
I notice that I function like other people. So we have our daughter, who you haven't met yet. Michelle's going to be home soon.
Hannah? I met her briefly.
Okay, that's right.
After the Joe Rogan podcast.
So when she was born, I took my wife driving the car to labor and delivery. We walk into labor and delivery, checking into labor and delivery. The whole time I'm looking over in the passenger seat, I have no clue who she is. No idea who she is. I thought I knew. Obviously, she's a friend, she's a relative, she's someone that's close, she's pregnant, which is very important. I've got to get her to this hospital. But I knew that if I could fake it for long enough, that all of this crap, this cloud would kind of come out of my head, and I would know. There's a selfie that she and I took in labor and delivery. Like I'm holding my phone, and she's got this big belly. We're about to go in there and deliver our daughter. I didn't know who she was in that photo. And I can see it on my face. And you could overlay it on the screen if you want to. That, when you come back and you realize who that is horror movie level terrifying. Of like, it's in many ways, it's like you're dying without, your physical body isn't dying, but everything that makes you is dying. So it's kind of like developing Alzheimer's, that first kind of little bit. And I went into this massive depression, and that's right at the time I started working with Dr. Laurence.
It's like, it's not this crazy special thing, but it's out in nature. It's something simple. Like even methylene blue is a industrial dye.
Yeah, for blue jeans.
It's not a patented drug by a big pharma company that like now they figured out. No, it's like, then that's probably why many people don't know about it.
Yeah, and especially in our Western world, All the drugs that become popular are drugs that treat symptoms. Drugs that treat causes don't go out there. Things that fix the cause of all of those symptoms.
Yeah.
Cancer is a symptom, right? So the thing that treats the cause of cancer is healthy diet, exercise, follow the RFK diet or whatever.
Yeah, sponsored by nature.